What is up guys, this is Tito back with another video, and today in this video I'm gonna be talking about the status on the Redmi Note 10 Pro about the CustomRom situation. So let's begin. And today in this video I'm not gonna straight go into a CustomRom, but I'm gonna talk about it a little bit more before I start that. And this one will include my experiences and my thoughts about it. So yeah, this is totally my impressions about the CustomRom situation on the Redmi Note 10 Pro. Again, the recovery situation is still similar, like it has those super kind of vendor partition and stuff. So you definitely need to format data every time you change your ROM. So if you're updating and stuff, you're fine. Like if you're on the same ROM, then you're updating to the next build, you're gonna be totally fine with it. You can dirty flash with the recovery, of course. Like you go into the recovery and you just flash the ROM and then magic and you reboot, it should boot totally fine if you are applying an update. But if you are changing your ROM, you need to format data to like in order to get the setup and stuff. So yeah, that's how it is. That's the same situation. Now, the ArrowOS was really good, and I would say it was one of my favorite ROMs at the beginning on the Redmi Note 10 Pro, and I have made videos about it, and of course I have talked about it a lot. But here is how it changed right now, at least. So as of today on May 22nd, 2021, the ArrowOS is not the best ROM for the Redmi Note 10 Pro. At least that's how I feel. Let me talk about it, why I'm saying this. Well, if you're someone who does not use the camera a lot, you're gonna be totally fine with it. You won't be having any problems. Like if you have the Redmi Note 10 Pro 64 megapixel camera variant, if you have a 108 megapixel camera variant, that is the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max, you're gonna be totally fine with the ArrowOS over here right now, because the ArrowOS is coming with the OSS-Vendor kind of camera blobs. So it definitely forces you to the 108 megapixel kind of stuff. And even if you flash the Redmi Note 10 Pro's add-on with the ANX camera, of course, and if you do that, even if you press volume down for that 64 megapixel camera module, it won't be actually working. You will still see 108 megapixel camera over there. Like if you go into the mode in ANX camera, you will see 108 megapixel, and that really breaks the camera a little bit for me on the 61 megapixel camera variant, of course. And if you switch to the front camera of the ANX camera, it looks really weird. Sometimes it takes very squashed kind of images, and it takes a little bit like longer kind of pictures. They are not good in quality, and these kind of things happen. So for the camera situation, if you have a Redmi Note 10 Pro 61 megapixel camera variant, I would say as of today you can go with the DerpQuest ROM. I have been using it on this device for a couple of days now, and I am pretty much planning to use it as my daily driver. And let me tell you, I have had no issues whatsoever. The ANX camera here works perfectly fine, and I would say everything works. Even the 64 megapixel photos, like you can take a 64 megapixel photo over here on this particular ROM with ANX camera. And if you flash with the ANX camera flashing guide, of course, which I made, I'll list it on the card and also in the description, so do check that out if you don't know how to flash ANX camera on a custom ROM. So what are the points am I making here, you might ask? So let me actually explain once again. The ArrowOS over here comes with the OSS-Vendor kind of camera module stuff. So in the ROM itself, you cannot really change that even if you flash the 64 megapixel like module, the RN10 Pro add-on. But here the DerpQuest ROM comes with MIUI kind of vendor over here. The camera situation is totally fine over here. Even if you have a Redmi Note 10 Pro Max and 108 megapixel camera, you can simply flash the Redmi Note 10 Pro module with the 108 megapixel kind of settings. That is, you have to press the volume up while flashing. If you don't know, just watch the ANX camera flashing guide video, you will see what I'm talking about. So you press the volume up for the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max, you press the volume down for the Redmi Note 10 Pro, that is the 64 megapixel camera, while flashing that module, and that will work perfectly fine over here because this is simply a MIUI vendor based camera. But as of right now, the OSS vendor is kind of not stable, I feel, for the Redmi Note 10 Pro. But if you're someone like who does not need camera at all, the performance is gonna be similar. It should be pretty good. If you are going with the DerpQuest ROM, of course, I am using the DerpQuest ROM for a couple of days now, and my experience has been really good in my personal opinion. That like a very early kind of custom ROM that is super stable and it is working super good. If the developer does not change it to the OSS vendor kind of stuff, that should be fine. At least as of right now, I can say the camera situation is very stable on this DerpQuest ROM. So if you're someone who is planning to flash a custom ROM as of right now on the Redmi Note 10 Pro, definitely go with the DerpQuest ROM as of May 2021 or end of May 2021, I can say. Now let's actually dive into the ROM and let me show you why it's so much better. And as you can see, this is the 19th May 2021 build. This is the latest build as of right now. The build size is about 1.5 GB. and there is a XDA thread link and a support group link. I'll list all of them in the description. Do not worry about those. And we have the GApps included in the build itself. And by the way, this is a MIUI vendor based ROM as far as I know. We have the DerpQuest logo up top. Then we have the Android version as Android 11, of course, as you are noticing. Let me go back. We have the security patch as latest May 5th, 2021 security patch. And we have the DerpQuest beta update version. As you can see, it shows 11 official beta for Suite or the Redmi Note 10 Pro. And we have the 19th May 2021 build date. The maintainer's name is Carlos Spreek. Then we have the kernel version 4.14.180 and the Linux status here is enforcing. In the system panel, we do have a system updater and you can check for updates from here, or you can manually update it too. You can check out the description if you want to manually update this ROM. And here we have the Gboard as the default keyboard. So in the home screen, as you can see, this is the Pixel launcher, which you get by default. And these are the settings that you get. We have the suggestion disabling options, but we simply do not have any double tap to sleep anywhere in the home screen. But yeah, it's fine. You can just double tap by double tapping over here, as you can see. And the fingerprint scanner speed is super fast. Let me show you a couple more times so that you guys can get an idea. And yeah, the fingerprint scanner is very, very fast. Let me try with this finger. As you can see, unlocks fine again. And yeah, the fingerprint scanner is working flawlessly. No issues whatsoever. It's very reliable fingerprint scanner experience. Again, talking about the launcher, we have the Google's Discover page to the left side of the home screen. Widgets in the home screen is working totally fine. No issues with that. Then we have the app drawer if you swipe up, of course. And if you swipe down, we have the quick settings panel. It looks like this because I have customized it, and you can customize it like this, or you can customize it even more if you want to. But let me show you by going into the edit option. There are a lot more toggles as you are noticing. So here, let me show you the things which I have added. We have the dark theme, then the screen recorder is also there. So here we have the device audio and the microphone audio recording at the same time. And we have the hotspot, then do not disturb. Then we have the data saver, then the reboot toggle is also there. So you can directly reboot to recovery from here. And with the heads up, then another screen recorder is there. This is the OS kind of screen recorder. As you can see, we have the resolution changing option, then the bitrate and stuff, number of frames. Now here, the good thing is we also have the DC dimming feature, and we have the high refresh rate mode. Then we have the always on display enabling or disabling option. And this is the sound kind of toggle. And if you tap and hold on it, you get the volume panel. So definitely it's a very good kind of quick setting, like enough amount of quick setting panel toggles that you get here. But I cannot simply find the FPS info kind of toggle over here. So yeah, that's how it is. Let me just decrease the brightness a little bit. And talking about the camera situation over here, again, we get the Unix camera by default over here, Unix Gcam, as you can see. And yeah, this is the default camera that you get. Takes basic pictures, super good, no issues whatsoever. And here, of course, I have installed the ANX camera. So yeah, I have talked about this like previously. So yeah, as you can see, it shows 64 megapixel over here. So let me actually like give you a demonstration of this. So if I take a picture, as you can see, I took a 64 megapixel picture. And right now, if I go into the info, as you can see, this is actually a 64 megapixel picture. So yeah, it is working flawlessly. And yes, you can take 64 megapixel pictures with this. And if you don't know how to flash ANX camera over here, and if you don't know how to get everything working with Magisk, check out the description. Now, before I start talking about the customization of this ROM, let me talk about some points that I have experienced over here, which I feel a little bit weird or could be improved. So the first thing is the camera over here. The front camera is working flawlessly, and that is not a problem. But if you don't enable like a notch or something over here, like a software notch, then you see a little bit of halo effect whenever you're video calling someone. So that is a bug, and for that, let me show you how I fixed it. So here you just search display cutout or notch, then you go to the developer options, and from here, as you can see, there is the tall cutout over here. So I have been using it with a tall cutout, and that's how I fixed the halo kind of effect of my side's front camera feed. So that's how it is. And I had to use this, otherwise my face had some kind of lights, and that is happening because it does not have those software kind of black borders over here, as you can see on the front camera. So that's the reason why the front camera gets some like lights from the screen itself. That's what creates the halo effect. And to fix that, we have to use the tall cutout as of right now. I think so. So yeah, only for video calling and stuff, it should be fine. Otherwise, if you want to video call someone, maybe you should enable the tall cutout, then you can do it. Now here, I'm going to talk about the next point. That is, as you can see in the quick settings panel, you do get a settings icon, right? So that is working fine, no issues with that. But whenever you are switching to the landscape mode like this, and if you're playing a video or something, let's assume, So if you just like go into the quick settings panel, you cannot simply go into your settings, and I could not find a like toggle or something which I can enable for this kind of quick setting panel landscape settings icon. But yeah, that's how it is. As you can see, this is how the quick setting panel looks like in the landscape mode, and it does not show you a settings icon. So yeah, that's how it is as of right now. You have to live with this, I guess. As of right now, maybe they will fix it in the future updates. Now here, let me talk about one more thing that I have noticed. So first, if you have this DC dimming turned on, let me actually disable this. Then if I enable the DC dimming, right now, if I also enable night light, as you can see, it's working. But as soon as I decrease the brightness or increase it, as you can see, even though the night light shows as on, it's not actually on. As you can see, it's pure white. So let me just disable the night light again. And as you can see, it did disable it, but if I enable it again, let me actually show you one more time. The display shows as yellow. If I decrease and increase the brightness, as you can see, the night light is gone. So this is one more bug that I have faced. So now let's jump into the customizations. Those are in the DerpQuest settings. And if you go into it, we have the power button option. Here we have the advanced reboot, and if you tap and hold power button, as you can see, this is how it looks like. You have the smart home light controls, and we have the advanced settings. Then we have the power off. If you tap on advanced, you can directly reboot to recovery or fast boot or your system UI, or you can just reboot your system. So all of these are working fine, and there is an optional user action over there. You can enable it if you want to. So now let me go back to the navigations. Over here we have the navigation gesture options, and there if you go into the settings, we have the left edge, right edge customization, dead zone, and the pill bar hiding feature. Then we have the gesture bar length and the thickness customization. So as you are noticing, the pill bar thickness right now is quite thick and long over here because I have changed those settings. And here you can also enable haptic feedback. Then the back gesture animation is also there, and advanced gestures are there. So extended swipe action and stuff, you can set custom actions for that. Those are working fine. And we also have the 2-button and 3-button navigation here. Let me go back to the gestures where we have the activate the torch option, long press power button to toggle torch, working flawlessly. Quickly open camera is there, power menu options are there. We have the device control, then the sensitive content and stuff. Then we have prevent ringing, skip music track. Also we have this brightness control feature. So sliding over here across the status bar actually adjusts the brightness, and it is very fast and snappy, as you can see. And we have the switch screen option. Then we have the swipe right screenshot. So yes, if you take a screenshot like this, as you are noticing, it is working flawlessly. There is also the long screenshot edit and delete option. And we have the volume rocker wake. As you can see, there are these volume panel options, and you can change them of course, but by default this is how it looks like, as you are noticing. And you can expand the volume panel just like this, works flawlessly. We have the default AOSP expanded, compact, audio tiled, and the MIUI compact option as well for the volume panel. And we have the volume panel on the left side showing option, then the show app volume over here. So up volume buttons and stuff is there. Then if you move into the interface, we have the quick settings panel, and here we have the quick setting pull down and stuff. Then we have quick setting tile styles, and I have changed these. That's why the quick setting panel looks like this. You can go with anything like dual tone trim and stuff, OxygenOS, gradient, pure accent, etc. options are there. And I did change these panel opacity and stuff. That's the reason why, as you can see, even the notification panel has this like kind of gradient effect. If you are looking at it, whenever you have a wallpaper applied, as you can see, the background looks very kind of glassy. I would say a frosted glass kind of effect. If you customize these settings, you get those frosted kind of effects. Let me go back. We have the themes option, and here we have all of these like presets. You can customize the theme from here, but I'll show you the accent color stuff later on. Here in the wallpapers, we have these like wallpaper over here, as you can see, but the wallpaper I'm using is from the Wallpy app, are listed below. In the clock settings, we get plethora of clocks, as you are noticing. So yeah, pretty much we have the Octave digital clock, OxygenOS 11, then the clock Artino, gradient fire, everything else is there. We have this fluid clock and stuff, IDE clock, etc. So a lot of lock screen clock presets that you get. Let me go back. We have the heads up customization here. Then we have the pulse option. Here you can enable nav bar, pulse and stuff. Then if you go into the status bar, we have the battery option over here. So here you get the icon portrait, circle, dotted circle, filled circle, text, hidden, these kind of icons. And we have the battery percentage next to the icon and inside the icon as well. Quick setting battery percentage is there. Then we also have the battery bar, so you can hide or like get it on the status bar over here. Let me go back. We have the clock options. From here, of course, you can enable AM, PM style. Then we have the date style, and you can hide the clock in the home screen over here. This is just the status bar clock again. And you can also change the date format from here. Let me go back. We have the network traffic indicator. You can enable or disable it, but I'm not really sure if it's working because I don't think it's working. So yeah, that's how it is. In the status bar section, we have the notification count option. then we have the logo, then the carrier label. Then in the system icons, we have the headset, Bluetooth, etc. kind of icons, as you can see. Also the VoLTE or Vio Wi-Fi icon is there. By the way, Vio Wi-Fi stays turned on by default, but I did disable it. Talking about VoLTE or Vio Wi-Fi, yes, VoLTE calling is working fine. Vio Wi-Fi also is working fine. And here you do not get any call recording option in the stock dialer. As you can see, this is simple Google dialer over here that you get. So yeah, that's how it is. But VoLTE calling is working flawlessly. Now jumping to the lock screen, we have the weather option. So this is for the lock screen weather settings. You can customize it however you want to. And by the way, let me actually show you the lock screen quickly over here. So this is how my lock screen looks like, because I have customized it a bit. And we have the time over here, the date, and we have the weather and stuff like the temperature. So yeah. Now in the general option, we have the status bar hiding feature. Then the lock icon you can hide as well. I'll just disable it over here. Lock screen charging info is there. It is working fine. Always on display scheduling option is there. Then we have the screen of animation. You can change it to CRT scale or default. Lock screen media artwork. You can have the blur level. Then we have the clock font style and stuff for the lock screen again. And you can also change these date style over here, the date font style. And we have the AOD lock screen kind of size over here. You can customize it however you want to. Then in the system or MISC settings, we have the general notifications. Here we have the edge lighting. I don't think the edge lighting is working properly. Maybe I did not set it up properly, but yeah, I did not see it working over here. That's how it is, but it might be working for some if you choose some settings over here. I'm not really sure. Here we also have the gaming mode and it should work. Then we have the vibrate on connect, call waiting, etc. Let me go back in the MISC settings. Here we have the USB configuration and you can set it to file transfer if you want to. Volume key cursor you can enable, and this is the G visual mode. From here you can change the status bar height. This is for gapping over here. If you have a really thick black border tempered glass, you can use this feature. And we have the header size changing option. Then we have the rounded corners, and I have been using it with the large. That's why, as you can see, all of these rounded corners are there everywhere in the UI, like the volume panel and stuff. Everywhere you see these rounded kind of edges. And here we have the nav bar kind of color. You can change it to something else if you don't want this to be white, maybe. Let me go back. We have the force brightness values. This is for the always on display, by the way. So that's all the customization that we have. Now jumping to the battery settings, this is how it looks like. You can tap here to see the full battery usage of force. And I would say the battery life over here is just amazing. And here are some screenshots. As you can see, I've got great battery life. It can definitely give you 6 to 7 hours of screen on time without any issues. So that is not a problem at all. And we also have the battery saver and stuff. Then we have the thermal profile. So you can set thermal profiles for each app over here. And as you can see, I have changed the benchmark kind of thing. And here we have the adaptive battery. Then the block sensors options are there. You can particularly add some apps over here, I guess, for blocking sensors maybe. And we have the battery temperature on the bottom. Tap to switch scale, so you can change the scale to Fahrenheit or something if you want to. Then screen on time is there, and there is the full charge lasts about how long prediction. And I would say again, fast charging is working super fine, but you need to make sure that if you're 33 watt fast charging, then you need to have the battery temperature to below 30 degrees. In the display settings, we have the lock screen customization. Here we have the always show time and info. That is simply the always on display. Let me go back, and here let me tell you one thing that I could not simply find a pocket detection option. I searched for it, so I could not simply find the pocket detection over here. And yeah, that's how it is. And here we have the brightness level, then the night light option. Adaptive brightness is there, live display is there. Here we also have the reading mode, then the color calibration, RGB control, you can change those from here. Styles and wallpapers is again there. Then we have the colors set to adaptive over here right now, but you can go with the boosted one if you want to. The colors, I would say, is a little bit desaturated when you compare it with the MIUI kind of colors. But yeah, that's how it is. That's how I see it. It's good enough, don't get me wrong, the colors are super good even with boosted settings. But yes, I would say if you compare it with MIUI colors, I would say the colors are a tad bit less saturated over here. If you consider MIUI colors 100%, then here it will be 99% saturated. Here we have the screensaver mode, then the double tap to wake, enable blurs option. Then we have full screen apps, you can set per app to full screen, and font size, display size, everything is there. Then inside device specific settings, we have the 120 Hz mode, of course, and I have been using it with the 120 Hz all the time. And you can also change it to 60 Hz if you want to save battery or something. But yeah, you won't see much difference maybe. Also, the de-dimming feature is actually there and it is working flawlessly, no issues with that. And as you can see, right now the display is not flickering, but if I disable this, you might be seeing some flickers. And if I even lower the brightness right now, as you can see, it's flickering. So if I enable this, let me actually show you. So right now it almost stopped flickering. So the DC dimming here is actually working, and I have been using it with the DC dimming totally. It has been working super fine. Here we have the dark theme changing option and like enabling option I mean, and if you enable dark theme, this is how it looks like. Yes, there is pitch black over here, no issues with that. And we have the clock style changing option again over here, so you can change the clock style from here too instead of the customization section. Then we have the switch style, these are the toggle style in the settings, you can change those. Then we have the settings dashboard kind of icons, and here we have the accent color presets. As you are noticing, you get plethora of accent colors. As you can see, it says pixel blue, pretty good. And we have the iOS blue and stuff. If you can, like if you want to change these, you can definitely. Then there is the headline and body fonts, plethora of body fonts that you get, as you are noticing again. And we have, yeah, pretty much plenty of fonts that you can use. I've been using it with the Google Sans, and here we have the icon shapes changing option, as you can see. And also we have the icon packs changing option. Then in the sound settings, we have the media, call, etc. volume. And talking about sound, let me tell you, the dual speakers are working super fine. No issues with that. While consuming media, I have like thoroughly tested, dual speakers are working flawlessly, like as good as MIUI. And here I would say the sound quality via the headphone jack and Bluetooth as well is super good. No issues that I have faced. Also vibrate for calls is there. Then the ringtone vibration pattern and stuff you can change from here. Then if you scroll down, we have the phone ringtone and stuff. Dial pad tone, screen locking sound, touch vibration, touch sounds, etc. Then we also have the Mi Audio DAC, of course, and here you get the youth edition and stuff and all other headphone options. Then if you go into the sound preset, we have all of these presets. Also, we do have the hi-fi audio option over here, so that is great. Jumping into the security settings, I have already showed you the fingerprint scanner speed, but let me go into the settings. We have the lock screen timeout over here and the power button instantly locks. Again, as of right now, no always unlock with the fingerprint scanner over here. And there is also the pin scrambling feature if you really want it, as you can see is there. And let me actually set up the face unlock now. So let's click next. So let's hit done. Let's test the face unlock over here. So I'll just double tap and put the phone towards my face and it unlocks super fine. Let me try one more time. So yeah, very fast and reliable face unlock speed, I would say. Let me try one more time. Again, it unlocks flawlessly, no issues whatsoever with the face unlock. Talking about the app lock, this is the same app lock that you get over here, and yeah, it is working super fine with this ROM too. And you can lock any app from here, of course, by just tapping on this lock icons. Then you can search for any particular app from this top right corner, and you can lock that particular app. There is also lock app after instantly, 15-second screen off. But with this app lock, again, I have faced the same issue that I face in most ROMs, that whenever I'm trying to open an app, sometimes when I open it, the window just goes down, or sometimes the fingerprint scanner does not work, I would say. If you want to rate me the accuracy, I would say it works 8 out of 10 times over here. So yeah, that's how it is. As you can see, that was the time that it did not unlock. Let me try. Okay, so as you can see, it won't unlock right now. So this actually happened on camera, so that is great. Let me open one more time. Then I tap the fingerprint scanner and it unlocks now. So yeah, this is the problem that I have been facing. So yeah, sometimes it does not unlock with the fingerprint scanner, and it's very rare, I would say. Pretty glad that it actually showed up in camera while I'm shooting this video. Now let's talk about some normal things like the safety net and stuff. Yes, the safety net passes right out of the box also, but I do have Magisk flashed over here. Even with that, I have banking apps working, no issues whatsoever. All the banking apps working fine. Talking about DRM info, if you're worried about losing your L1 certification, it's not a problem here. As you can see, the L1 stays. As you're noticing, the security level shows as L1. So you can stream Netflix or Amazon Prime videos in 1080p over here without any issues. Also talking about the IR Blaster over here, as you can see, the IR Blaster actually works fine if you're noticing. So no issues with the IR Blaster over here. And yeah, it works super fine as you are noticing. Now this is how the recents panel looks like, and you can actually go to the split screen mode and stuff from here if that app supports it, as you can see. And you can take a screenshot, you can select some text if you want to. And if you want to clear all the apps, you go all the way to the left, then you clear all the apps from here. Talking about Google Assistant, let me actually try it now. Hey Google. As you can see, it is working fine. So no issues with the Google Assistant over here on this ROM. Okay, so right now let's open a couple of apps that I have opened over here. So Chrome, it kind of reloaded. Facebook is in memory. Twitter is reloading. Play Store. And YouTube, yes, it is in memory. Instagram still in memory. Google Home is in memory. Spotify, as you can see, is still in memory. Let's open Chrome now. And with this test UFO website, as you can see, it stays above 115 FPS, as you are noticing. So yeah, the performance over here is great, and you can see the benchmarks from here. So pretty much most of the apps does stay in memory, so not a problem over here with the memory management in my opinion. The whole UI stays very smooth, and I did not see any kind of huge lags or stutters over here, or freezes or black screens kind of things. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Definitely I would say as of right now still the DerpQuest ROM is the best that you can get as a custom ROM on the Redmi Note 10 Pro, and I have been using it without any issues, and this ROM I'm just loving over here. So I'm gonna keep daily driving with this ROM until and unless a much better ROM comes, or if there is an update, I'll definitely update this ROM as far as I can. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Please share this video with your friends if they want a custom ROM for the Redmi Note 10 Pro, if they do not like MIUI at all, and there are so many bugs in MIUI 12.5 update. So definitely make sure you're sharing this link of this video to them, or you can recommend this video, of course. So yeah, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. This is Tito from KD and Tech signing off for today, and I'll be catching you guys in the next one. Bye bye now.